Hey everybody, what's going on? William Grazione here with my good friend Rob Terry. So I wanted to give you guys something. I wanted you guys to meet Rob because this is the first time he's been on our channel here with Metabolic Evolution. And Rob and I have trained together in the past. We met each other way back in 2010, I believe it was. That was back when I was starting in natural bodybuilding, and then when I saw this guy walking in the gym, I was like, holy shit, I have to talk to that guy. And ever since then, we've remained close. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here in Metabolic Evolution HQ, and I want to take a moment and just say a few things to my audience here about you because, you know, obviously we all have the ability to come across a lot of people in the world, right? Mm-hmm. And something that I love about you is just how humble, how genuine, how good you are as a husband, as a father, and all of those amazing things that, you know, in my opinion, they go far beyond what your athletic endeavors have created for you so far. Thank you. And for those of you who aren't aware, Rob is the current two-time Mr. Natural Olympia in the INBA PNBA, and we are going back for title number 3. Rob, man, thank you so much for coming on.
No, seriously, the pleasure's all mine. You know, I'm looking around here. I feel like I'm on the This Morning show. You know, I got my cup of coffee here, and we all got the stage lights set up. Yes. So this is a pretty cool setup. You know, I just gotta make sure that you don't out-angle me on this. You know what I mean? So
I don't stand a chance.
I gotta stay. It's absolutely awesome to be on here, man. And you know, I look forward to talking to your viewers and everything else.
So what I wanted to do, Rob, currently right now we are sitting right about 8.5 weeks out from the Natural Olympia, which is going to be taking place November 14th through the 17th at the Rio Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. And, you know, I wanted to talk to the people a little bit about your journey so far, where you were when we started, a little bit about the nutrition side of things, a little bit about the cardio side of things. And then I also wanted to dive a little bit deeper into your mindset, because I think that one of the most powerful things a champion can have is a champion mindset, and everything starts with the mindset. It's who you identify as. I'm sure for you, you see yourself being 3-time Mr. Olympia before it ever even happens. Everything starts in the mind, right? So let's go ahead and dive in a little bit about where you were when we started this prep at 16 weeks out, and then how we've progressed and where we're sitting right now. So we met up at Amped Fitness in Pinellas Park. Yeah. Brand new Amped Fitness. Highly recommend that gym.
It's an awesome facility for anyone else in that area. You know, it's got all the bells and whistles that you need for someone in the fitness industry. So if you guys, you know, check it out if you're in the area, it's a great place and you'll see me there.
So Rob was, I think your peak off-season weight was like 270, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit lower this year than what it usually is, just because, you know, mindset, you know, usually I have been in my off season is usually 280. So I know I've got to come down for these shows because even though I'm a big guy and I'm a big guy off season, I've really got to come down in weight and really be dialed in for these shows, because even though I'm 6'4", potentially 280 pounds in the off season, these guys that I'm competing at are pros from all around the world, and you can guarantee that they bring their best. So it's important for me to start on point, and I wanted to start a little lighter, which was 270. We discussed this last year. You maybe start a little bit lighter, because in previous years we did start from 280.
Absolutely.
So that was kind of the strategic plan. I had a great off season, staying injury free. That's kind of key. You know, for me, I needed to make sure that I had a great off season, you know, and that no injuries happen, so you're going into that prep fresh and you're good to go. So yeah, it was a good starting point.
Absolutely. Awesome. So Rob has now been dieting already about 8 weeks or so, and obviously we just said he started around 270. Now you're down. You said your lowest weigh-in last week was 249.
Yeah, 249.
So how are you feeling so far about how that first 20 pounds has kind of came off over the last 8 weeks?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. You know, everything's been pretty good. I feel great. You know, I did have that goal to switch up my prep from a 12-week cut to a 16, and that I think is going to play a really good part in this prep. Obviously, I'm not the finishing product yet, but so far, and when I'm looking and how I'm feeling ahead of the game. Perfect. So yeah, I'm excited. You know what I mean? It's been a good prep getting here so far. Now it's time to switch it up and grind and you know get even more. lower body fat percentages, so we can come in as dialed as possible for this show. And just hopefully I want to bring a package again that I haven't, no one's seen yet, including myself. So I'm looking forward to that.
As far as like stats go, because I'm sure a lot of you guys oftentimes hear me talk about metabolism, you guys hear me talk about macros and calories and all of these various things, and you're probably wondering, like, how much does a guy this size actually eat? Or how much does a guy this size actually need to eat to be able to improve his body composition? So just to let you guys know, we started Rob off at 75 fats, 375 carbs, and 290 grams of protein per day on his low days. Now, the only variable there that we had adjusted up was we ended up taking 2 days per week where we jumped carbs up to 600 grams. Mm-hmm. Now, over that duration of time, as he lost the first 20 pounds, his low day carbohydrates basically went from 375 nearly down to 325. And today, after taking a look at you, we just went ahead and dropped him down to 300, right? So obviously, we need to make sure that he's in the lower 230s to make sure that you can bring something that nobody in the INBA, PNBA has ever seen from a conditioning perspective, a size perspective, and a fullness perspective. And our goal essentially is to make sure that you are stage lean, 2 weeks out or so, right, so that we can actually start to add calories in going into the competition. Whereas with everybody else, they're probably still on the treadmills or still trying to kill
stressing
themselves.
About getting ready for that day.
We don't want
elimination of that. Just enjoy the process.
Exactly. So we want to make sure that he is ready ahead of time. We want to try to alleviate some of that stress off of the system going into peak week, and then obviously allow him to bring his best within the confines of those few days for the Natural Olympia. So over the first 8 weeks, obviously he's already seen a 20-pound drop. His physique has already improved dramatically. He's lost roughly 20 pounds of adipose already, and we still have about 15 pounds and more to go. But what I want you to talk about a little bit, Rob, is like, what do you habitually do on a daily basis where you just make sure that your day is set up so that you're always in a position where you're prepared?
For me, preparation starts the day before. So I'm not one of these guys that cooks, for the week or whatnot. I really like to cook everything as fresh as I can, but it's a lot of preparation, I'm not going to lie. So, the day before, I'm cooking for tomorrow. So I don't want to be without my food, number one. When I wake up, my food is there, it's ready. Not only that, but the type of foods that I have, I'm very consistent. I think that's key for me, is just having the same types of foods so that I know all the way through my prep what agrees with me, what doesn't agree with me, if I have any issues with anything. And you can monitor that so much easier than just making stuff up as you go along. Another thing is, for me, I don't plan per meal what I'm going to have. Everything's cooked in a bulk for that day. Everything's weighed out. First of all, I'm old school, so I'll write everything out in a book, then I'll weigh it out, and then I'll cook it. And I'm not the best cook either, so. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It is a grind. It should be a grind, and the more of a grind it is, the more it'll be rewarding for you at the end product. Absolutely. So what I do then is, with all the amount of food that I have, I strategically place it throughout the day, as opposed to when I train, when the carbs, filter them down late at night. And I try and keep that system going on every single day, and it's regimented. If there are any changes, we'll talk about it, and we'll go from there. So just keeping everything as simplistic as I can, and just being prepared that day early, or even 2 days earlier, is key. Always be prepared.
So obviously those are some habits that you guys can obviously take a hold of, and put yourself in a position to be successful. You notice Rob said when he wakes up, it's already taken care of. So he doesn't have to stress about it that day. His whole day is already pre-planned the day before. So something that really does coincide with that, and something that I know that you're very passionate about, is just the mindset of being a champion, and the mindset that you have to be able to do something like this. Like when you are at the top in the world,
right? How
do you stay there? Like, what motivates you to keep going? Where does your fire come from? What just lights you up?
How long do we have, first of all? Because mindset,
I mean, hey, it's
mindset for me is,
we can go as long as you want.
We can talk about training, and we can talk about nutrition. We can talk about that all day long. But when you talk about mindset, that's such a huge and powerful thing for me. And I mean, everyone, gravitates, and they think they have that mindset. It's not really that, I had something that being the champion and all that kind of stuff. It's just generally who I am, you know. I'm very drawn to what I want.
Where does that come from?
I've had it for a long time, you know, and it boils down to, man, when I was a young guy and you know, I wanted this car, you know what I mean, and I was living back in the UK and nothing was going to stop me. I wanted this specific car, you know, and I did everything in my power, you know. I didn't earn a whole bunch of money, and I just saved up and I saved up and I just sacrificed everything to get that car, and I got it in the end. And I've applied that strategy of the law of attraction and everything else. I'm a huge believer in that, and I really truly believe if you want something bad enough, and I don't care what it is, you can fly and do whatever you want to do, go into outer space, I don't care what it is, you can do it. And you know that more than anyone because you've achieved some crazy things yourself.
Absolutely.
So yeah, for me, being two-time Natural Mr. Olympia is a huge deal for me. It's the title alone is just magnificent, and to represent natural bodybuilding on the top class level is insane. But for me, it's what's bigger than that is that my goal is to be the 7-time, and that would put me down in the world history as the current champion right now. Who holds it is the 6th time. So that's what my vision is. I have a laser sight vision of what I want. I think about it all the time. I prioritize it every single day, and essentially nothing's really going to stop me from doing it. And you have to have that 24/7. You never really switch off. There's kind of one in it, and there's you're not going to stop me from getting it. There's a big difference in that, you know what I mean? Because everyone kind of wants this, you know, and they never really get it. Or you can be laser sight driven towards something. And I think when you are laser sight driven towards something, the chance of you getting it, it's only a matter of time. So that's kind of the mindset you need, and it's something that just never switches off. And this is something that I could just talk about forever. I really could, but you know, obviously maybe we don't have that much time today because I know you're a busy guy. But
I got a big chip in this camera.
Well, yeah, you know, mindset is huge, and it just doesn't stop with your goal. You know, it starts with every single training session, and you know, nutrition and pride and ownership you have in every single rep, every single set. It means something, you know what I mean? Every single thing is one step that takes you closer to that ultimate goal. And you know, I wish a lot of people had that, where they really take pride and ownership, and they understand that rep, that set is everything, and you need to put everything into that one thing. Because that's going to take you one step closer, you know, and I'm just hugely passionate about that, and I believe that, you know, what you put into something, ultimately you will get out.
A phrase sticks out to me about you, and it's simply this, like, you know, the way that you do one thing is the way that you do everything.
Right.
So you're breaking down a workout to one rep.
Yeah.
So when you do that one rep perfectly, you likely will treat your entire life the same way. Everything you do in your life tries to be as optimized and as perfect as possible.
Everything that's important to you, I believe, you know, you should, you know, you own it, you know what I mean? It's yours. That's your time,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
but we did talk a bit about, you know, obviously going laser locked in, laser focused on one specific thing. And, you know, a lot of people I feel like don't have maybe the ability to do that, or maybe they're wondering, like, well, we see the finished product on stage, right? We see that, you know, you are the 2-time Mr. Natural Olympia, but like, what is Rob Terry's life actually like? What is it like, and what are some things that maybe, like, things that we have to sacrifice? So as an example, for me to be able to coach the clients that I coach, for me to be able to have this office space, I have to leave my wife every day, I have to leave my children every day, and I get so excited when I get a chance to go back home to see them. But that's a sacrifice that I have to make, just being, you know, a coach and a business owner. So from a professional athlete's perspective, and somebody who is in that position of being on top, what are some things that maybe, you know, you feel like they are the most important things to you in your life? However, when it's time to press the gas for the Olympia, I know that in previous interviews, like Kiyoshi Moody, you know, the current, I think he was 6-time, he would say, like, you know, when he was prepping for the show, everything was the show. But then when the show was over, it was about, like, his kids and his daughter and being a coach and all of that stuff. So like, what are some things maybe that for you really look forward to when the bodybuilding season is essentially when that specific moment you're standing, you're the last man on stage? What happens after that, and what do you fill your cup with right after that maybe you weren't able to do during the prep?
Yeah, I really feel for you because I'm exactly the same position. Because when you're competing at this level, or it could be the amateurs as well, you still need to have that mindset where this is your goal, this is everything, and this is what you're going to do. And it's very normal sometimes for family life to take a back step, you know what I mean? And it's hard, it's really hard for me. I got a 15-month-old little boy, Mason. So sometimes when I could be playing with him in the morning,
and he's already jacked.
Oh, he's jacked. It's something that when I got to go for my workout, it switches me on even more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
Right.
I'm thinking, well, I'm away from my son right now, so I better give it everything that I have, because this is what I'm missing out on, and my wife and my friends and everything else. So. Yeah, when the competition's done, it's really about family and friends, because the amount of support and understanding that they have and that they give me is paramount, and it's important for me to give that back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even though me personally, I find it very hard to switch off, even when a show finishes, because I'm still looking for that next.
Yep.
I need to try and find a balance, and that can be hard, but still. I'm able to give family and friends more time.
Well, I think balance is one of those things a lot of people talk about, but not very many people actually find the
Sure.
balance. And I don't believe that when you are at the top of anything, I don't know if there's really is a balance,
No.
right? Because you have to be so laser locked in, so 100% on one thing, that to be balanced, you'd be 50% on one thing and 50% on the other thing. And for most of the time, it's that 100% is to reach a goal.
Yeah.
And then the balance may come after that, where you can then take a step back and you can analyze things better and say, all right, what have I not been doing because I've been accomplishing this goal, or setting an ideal example for
It's
my
just like in the
kids,
gym, right? I mean, the weights are never going to get easier. You know what I mean? They're always going to get harder because you're
Right.
going to push yourself. So
Right.
once you get to that level, then you're just going to have to step it up to progress.
Absolutely.
So I think that's just the same in life, really. You know what I
Absolutely,
mean? It's the
man.
same.
Dude, I would love to have you back on again. I think we could talk about a lot of things that would bring the audience a lot of value, and
I'm glad you say that, because I'd love to be back.
cool, let's do it. So I think I want to leave you guys with something, and Rob, I just want to maybe get some insight from you. But what are 3 things that, if you look back over the course of your life, what are 3 things that have helped you get to where you are now? Just continue to be the humble man that you are, build yourself into the champion of the world, be an amazing husband, amazing father. Like, what are 3 things that you've been able to do consistently that have led you to be who you are now?
Man, that's pretty huge. Thank you, first of all. I would have to say, just being consistent. You know what I mean? Consistency. I say this to everyone. They say, "Hey, how do you get to this level? How do you do this? How do you do that?" It's really consistency, man.
Right.
That's the secret, quote unquote, that everybody wants. You know what I mean? It's the secret that people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna take some time out now." You know what I mean? I need to. My shoulder's hurting a little bit. I get it. My shoulder hurts as well sometimes. You know what I mean? I work around it. I don't stop, and that's been my ultimate secret. So that's number 1. Number 2 is just being you. You know what I mean? Don't try and be somebody else that you're not.
I love that one.
Because people will see through it at the end of the day. I can't really be anyone else. I'm just who I am. It is what it is.
Everybody else is taken, right?
Yeah. And then the third thing, just be dedicated and give everything you have to what you believe in. You know what I mean? And I've wanted this fitness realm, this level that I've achieved, and this level that I've been able to maintain. I haven't just popped up like this, in the last couple of years. I've been a big guy for a long time, and I've achieved statuses that a lot of people would take disbelief being natural. So, and I love that. I love that so much that people actually think that I'm unnatural when I am actually natural. So just being dedicated and giving everything you have to something you believe in is huge. And I love fitness. I have a vision, I have a goal of what I expect out of myself every day, and I love to deliver that. So,
Absolutely.
and that's the message that I'd love to help other people. I'm at that point now where it's one of those things where it would be great for me to pass on all the experience that I've had to help other people out, and that's what I would love to do.
Back when I first met you in 2010, that wasn't really an option. Like,
No.
there wasn't Instagram, there really wasn't anybody posting stuff.
Sure.
So the fact that we have this platform available, and hundreds or thousands of people could watch this video and get to know more about you, and that's really what we're striving to do here. So Rob, man, I just want to take a moment and say thank you so much, dude.
Thank you, my friend.
I appreciate
it's
you.
always a pleasure.
And guys, 8 weeks out, two-time Mr. Natural Olympia, Mr. Rob Terry, man, I appreciate you for coming on, and we'll have to do it again, all right?
I look forward to that. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
brother.
Thank you, guys.
Peace.